Today, we're going to travel beyond boundaries and thrive in life's gray zone. I'd like you to just listen and consider this. Lights are out. When the lights are out, how do you manage the unexpected? Travelers drag aching feet through pitch black darkness, while light closes its heavy eyelids to embrace change. I hear footsteps, do you? Voices echo tirelessly, searching through a winding maze of tunnels. The view becomes darker with a spot of light. Discomfort can be beneficial, yet unsettling when fear entangles progress. Change deepens the healing and suffering of a throbbing wound. Meanwhile, courageous hearts dare to step beyond the boundaries. Will you? I'm Marlene Foster with Empower the Vision, and today we're going to talk about, first of all, how healthy your business is. How healthy are you? Would you say you are today? What if you were to consider selling your business today, right on the spot? I mean, not next week, not tomorrow, not next year, but what if you were considering selling your business? What type of value does your business represent? How reliable is your business? We're going to talk about reliability. How reliable is your business, and how excited do you think a business owner would be to want to purchase your business? And again, we'll talk about healthy. I want to know how healthy do you consider your business right now? Has your business anticipated unexpected challenges that are coming your way? Because they will be coming. Years ago, I didn't. I did not anticipate the unexpected. I was working in my office with a client. I was writing a life insurance coverage for her, and my face was dripping with, I mean, sweat was just running down my face. I knew I was sick. She knew I was sick. And I tried to continue to conduct business at that time. And she didn't ask what she could do to help me. I asked her to call a person that I had always been someone that was reliable, someone I could rely on. At that particular moment, which is definitely was unexpected. I didn't expect to be sick at that moment. But she came and she finished writing the business and rushed me to the emergency room. How long did it take for me to get better? I was out of the office for 4 to 5 weeks. And in a 4 to 5 week period, how healthy do you think my business was when I returned? What do you think I had to do? Returning to a business that I had been away from for 4 to 5 weeks. Thank God that my mom she had me brought over to her home after I was released from the hospital. I came over to her house. But let me ask you this. What if I had been ill, but I could have, what could I have done though? What if I could have gone back home, but I needed prescriptions filled at that particular time, but they kept me in the hospital. What type of, in your city, is there a location where you can go and get prescriptions filled between maybe 2, 3 o'clock a.m. in the morning? Where could you go? Here in Memphis, we have Walgreens. Walgreens has locations that are open for 24 hours, a 24-hour period, which I've used before. I have rushed over to Walgreens and I was able to get those prescriptions filled, for my daughter. Now, in your business, have you anticipated an unexpected occurrence? Have you anticipated what you do? In the event a customer called you and needed you immediately, needed your assistance, have you considered what value you could bring to them? Can they rely on you to be there for them during the unexpected occurrences? What would you do? Again, today, I want you to consider stepping beyond boundaries. And when you step beyond boundaries, think about that gray area. The gray area that I just described, the maze. It's like a maze that you travel. And it's not if it happens, it's when it happens. When it happens, what will be your plan of action? How will you show reliability? What type of assurance do you have for your business? Let's say if you were getting ready to sell today, what kind of assurance do you have in the business? And also, a lot of businesses are now selling to employees or selling to someone that is actually doing business along with them. But when I became ill with pneumonia, and I came sick, you may be wondering, what did I do when I came back to the office? Because I did lose some of my clients. I lost some, and I kept the majority of them, but I did lose. I left. I lost clients. And you know what I did? As a backup, I reached out at that particular time as a solopreneur, and I reached out to other business owners. I reached out and collaborated with 3 business owners, and I told them what happened to me. Well, they already knew I had been out sick, but I told them what I felt we could do that would protect one another. So we collaborated, and they were prepared to step in. If I had something that I needed to take care of, somebody would step in and help in my business. I stepped in to help with their business. And you know what we received out of it all? Greater visibility. It opened the doors even wider for the community that they serviced. That community started to learn more about me as I learned about them. So there was a benefit there. Reaching out, collaborating. Collaboration is key, and I know all of you know that today. If you haven't implemented it in your business, think about collaboration. Now, today I want to talk to you about, again, going beyond boundaries. Going beyond boundaries when it's time to look at family protection in your business. Going beyond boundaries when it's time to look at employee retention, customer retention as well, because you want that repeat business, right? And also looking at community awareness, which brings an abundance of credibility. So we're looking at credibility, and we already know that credibility is what? Trust. You want to create trustworthiness. So if we go back to family, family protection. So if something occurs in the business, what do you have in place that protects your home, that protects your family, keeps them moving on and moving forward, even if you are experiencing a disability? If you become, sick for a number of years, you got a plan in place. And this takes me back again to a time when I was a little girl, and my mother came home from work, and I was sick. I was throwing up, holding my side. And this was probably the most excruciating sight I had ever seen, because I had never seen someone throw up and it was green. I'm sorry, but this was green. And it was what? Appendicitis. I don't know how many of you have experienced this. Appendicitis is painful, truly painful. But when she came home, the doctor's offices were closed. The only thing that we could do was go where? To the emergency room. The car was malfunctioning at that particular time. My mother was saying, "Well, I'll call the ambulance." The ambulance took forever, guys, to arrive. So you know what she did? She went and spoke with one of our neighbors. The neighbor came and my mom just wrapped me up in a towel because I was continuously throwing up. I threw up all the way downtown to the emergency room, and we got there and they said that that it was an appendectomy. So I had appendicitis, and so went through surgery, all of that, the surgery. Um, and then afterwards was able to stay in the hospital for a few days and then return home. But I'm asking you today, what do you have again in place for family? I'm talking about your family right now. What do you have in place even, and we're going to talk about employees, for your employees and their families? We always have to have a plan because the gray zone is calling for all of us. If you want success, you've got to travel into the gray zone. You got to travel beyond boundaries, heading for where? The gray zone. Employee retention. How do you, what type of reliability do you have when it comes to employee retention? Are you helping your employees to gain greater training? Are they being trained for succession so that if something occurs, if someone leaves the business, if someone becomes ill, if someone dies, you've got employees who are ready to step into their shoes. How can you do this? You've seen businesses that have the lunch and learn type of settings where they bring lunch and then somebody comes and they actually train them on different skills. What you can do in a setting like that is that you can create a competition. Incentivize them with a competition. And what do you do with the competition? Those who score the highest, you prioritize them. And now you know what order you have in terms of the levels of achievement, and you continue to train and you let them step into the shoes of maybe some of the other managerial levels or some executive levels who are leaving for vacation, who are on sick leave, who have an extended leave because they're out, maybe out of the country or something doing business. But you start to train them by letting them step into their shoes. Let them start getting a feel of what it's like to take on those roles. Let them get started. And hello, Lisa, for being here with me today. Good to see you. And you let them get started. Succession planning. And you already know the level. You already know those individuals who are at the top, who's second, who's first, second, third, maybe 10. Just have individuals lined up, and already who could actually move forward first because of the competition, right? And continue to have them to service the company. Let them grow, let the other employees see it and have them cross train. Have a continuous cross training that exists for employees because that keeps them there being a part of the team. Service the team. And then you can what? You can rely on them and they're relying what? On you. You're relying on one another because together the company is staying afloat, it's growing, isn't it? And believe it or not, when you do decide to sell, just think now, there are businesses that are watching you right now. There are businesses that have actually reached out to me and asked me about what my plans were maybe for the future, that sort of thing. You can tell them what your plan is. You can tell them if you got a plan in place or what you anticipate occurring. But we've got to learn to anticipate what happens to your business, anticipate what happens to the family, anticipate what happens to employees, anticipate what happens to customers. Now, also in the employee realm, in my book, I talk about a partnership, a marital partnership where a key employee dies. And this man is the one who actually, he had a furniture. There were furniture where they sold furniture, and there was a particular pieces that he created for them that no one else actually was doing within the industry. So this company was well known for his craftsmanship. When he died, they didn't know what to do. They just sort of, ran around in circles. There was no one else who had been trained. No one else knew what to do to help the business. No one else just knew. So at that particular time, the couple thought about, well, what if we sell uh, not, or just not sell at this particular time, but they're thinking about maybe thinking about selling in the future. But what if we right now look at what we can do differently for our business? Is there something different we can do in the business? So they sort of like kind of went back and forth as to what the change would be. Then they did consider, what if we did sell? The wife wanted to do one thing and the husband wanted something else different, but his business was a family owned business, and it was the husband's family who owned the business. Now, the family enjoyed what the wife wanted. They said they really thought it'd be great for what she was talking about doing in the business. And they sort of kind of went against what the husband wanted. I think he wanted a winery or something, but there was anyway, they enjoyed what she wanted. But think about it. In a partnership, you need what's called a buy-sell agreement. The buy-sell agreement helps you to be able to do what? Rely. You now have a reliance, don't you? What can happen in the event a partner walks out? What if a partner did walk out? What if the wife decided she just didn't want to be there any longer? They're still married, but she decides, I don't want to stick around. I'd rather leave and go and do something different. I don't want to do this any longer with the furniture. And she decides to leave. What happens? Now with the buy sale agreement, you have the terms where she receives a benefit when she leaves, and then the all of the shares of the business are now where? In the name of the husband. Now, what if you got a marital partnership and they decide to divorce? You know this happens. The divorce occurs and it's a partnership. Now you've got the buy-sell agreement in place, and again, the person who's leaving will receive a percentage or some type of benefit, a monetary benefit upon leaving, or even a an investment that helps with their retirement when they leave. And the person who's left behind now receives the full shares of the business now go to them. It's now there for them. Okay. So when we look at reliability, you've got to think about how reliable is your business. Can your business move forward independently? Is there interdependence in your business? Are they relying on one another? Reliance has to be there, because when you're getting ready to sell the business, that's going to be really, really important. When you're looking to purchase a business, someone's looking to purchase your business, they want to know, can that business survive without you? Are they capable of standing on their own 2 feet? Help your business become strong today. So tomorrow, you know you can rely on them. And they're now doing what? Relying on you. Again, now let's look at on the customer end, again, customers. Customer retention. When I think of customer retention, I think of FedEx. FedEx is here in Memphis. So that means that all the packages that are actually that are shipped travel through where? Through Memphis. And they actually, leave out from here, going to the different destinations. FedEx, if you notice, has written guidelines letting you know that's their reliability. Reliable to deliver your package either what? 8 a.m., at 10 a.m., or later. You pay for the delivery, don't you? But what I'm saying is that you still have an option there. They give you written notification as to how you can have your package shipped. FedEx has been around for a long time, and it's funny how it even started. FedEx was definitely an unexpected journey, truly unexpected. But anyway, all of us know about them. We know how they operate. And as you know, there are different ways that you can have your packages delivered, because they have what? It's reliable. They have it written. You can read how to and decide how to ship your package. And it's all, again, up to the customer. Last, let's talk about community awareness. And I mentioned this last week in when I talked about credibility, right? And when you're looking at community awareness, right now in the month of May, we're now focusing on what? Mental Health Awareness Month, right? Mental health. And a person that I know of right now, she has a psychological background. Okay, and Ambreen Nadine, she's got a lot of focus right now on mental health. That's what she does on a consistent basis. But this month, she's really, really pushing so that she can have more businesses to connect, more individuals to connect, and to understand the benefit of mental health. When I think about your business and mental health, burnout occurs a lot, doesn't it? Burnout these days, and even during the pandemic, burnout, correct? We have to know that there have to be preventive measures, and that's what Ambreen speaks of. Preventive measures, ladies and gentlemen. You don't wait until something occurs. You talk about it now, and that's what she's doing this month in the month of May. And that's what I'll be doing also on my platform, is talking about mental health, because we need it as well as we do what? Our physical health. We need that. Now I want to ask you right now, what is your story? We're talking about, in my book on 500 Moments of Discomfort, we talk about the discomfort that empowers some of those writers in the book. 500 Moments of Discomfort, that will be published, is coming up this year. I want to ask you, what's your story? What are you facing today? What choices are you making that will help you to decide how you face discomfort? What value do you have that you're showing, that shows reliability in your business? What are you showing as a person? What are you showing in your relationships? And let's go back to customers. When you look at customer service, customer care, have more than one person servicing your customer. Why? Because the unexpected occurs. Management and executive, reach out and let customers know just how important they are to you. Reach out to them. And also let them get an opportunity to know others within the business. Let them know at least three. Have a minimum of three individuals who go and meet with the customer, who service the customer, who the customer can call upon, because you never know what could happen. We don't know, do we? So, customer retention, again, leads to when customers really enjoy you, then that's when you get their repeat business, right? And repeat business also comes when customers see you out in the community volunteering, having your employees to volunteer, in volunteering service, saying that you care, giving within the community. When you give, that improves credibility. Improve your credibility in, like I said, several different ways: through your employees, your customers, and community awareness. We have to continue doing this, ladies and gentlemen. If you really want to really deepen your relationships, and as I was saying, come join me as well with with the book that I'm publishing this year, 500 Moments of Discomfort. Come. And I wanted to also tell you that beyond boundaries, the theme today, when you move beyond boundaries and you thrive in life's gray zone, that is the title of the book that I've co-authored. That's the title of my book. And I read you just a section from it today. It is a book where you got 27 authors talking about uncertainty. And in my chapter, I talk about the darkness that we face, because we all face it. We'll face it. And I know that we are really anxious to see just how discomfort, and we feel discomfort really grows, helps us to grow. And it does help us to grow. But But let's think about how uncomfortable it can be. Discomfort can be uncomfortable. And I know it is for me, but I don't let it stop me. We don't let it stop us, do we? But it gives you true discomfort. So come join me, give me, share your story, share visibility, empower readers around the world, and also let them get to know you and let them reach out to get to know you even better. And I want to also stop and tell you about the workshop that I have coming up. I have a workshop that will be coming at the end of this month. And the workshop is on credibility and how you can improve what you're doing right now. I'll be listening to you. You'll tell me what you're doing, and I'll tell you how you can actually reinforce what you're doing currently, and also the new innovative ways that you can improve credibility. So I want to say to you today that come join me, in the workshop. And if you want to learn more about what's going to occur in the workshop, purchase my book, Beyond Boundaries, Thriving in Life's Free Zone, and read my chapter. And it will tell the stories that I share with you today. You'll see those stories there. And you'll see also one deep setback that I occurred, which was with a family member, a deep sadness that took place in my life. A sadness where someone actually died, uh, actually at the beginning of the year in January, and which empowered me also. The pain empowered me. You know how pain can empower you. Pain can be powerful, can't it? So I want to just tell you today, stop, think about how healthy is your business. How healthy are you today? You are the business. You are. Think about self-care. Think about it. Think about self-care and think about also the self-care within your business. Think about your employees. Think about their journey and think about your customers. How healthy are they? Follow up. Give them an upgrade. Whatever it is that you're working on, ladies and gentlemen, always have an upgrade that you have that's coming forward. Whatever it is that you start off with, start creating something new. Think about the new, the value you can bring. So one day, when you do sell your business, when you do think about it's time to leave, or you think about that it's time to retire, you have true value and you've created value within your employees. You've got customers who really admire and who are giving what? Word of mouth. When they see you out there doing a great community service, when they see you out there doing great community awareness, and they see the write ups that people are doing, the PR that's occurring about you, that is when word of mouth really takes off. People start to, they're talking about you, they're referring new clients to you. So think about it. Think about, again, anticipate how you can reinforce reliability.